Hello friends, welcome back. Happy New Year. I cannot believe it's already 2024. Well, today I wanted to make a video about some habits that I started mostly in 2023 and that I'm definitely bringing with me into 2024 because they have been life-changing. My little note here. Number 1, taking back time and wasting less time. We are always busy and needing more time, right? And one thing I found that has made a huge difference is not waiting to have a ton of time together to be able to get something done. For example, if it would take me 15 minutes to empty out the dishwasher and then load it up again, if I have 2 minutes instead of just like if I'm cooking and I'm waiting for something to stir fry or saute or whatever, instead of just sitting there on my phone for those 2 minutes, I will just do what I can. So if that's only enough time to empty the cutlery rack, that's what I'll do. And then later on, when I have time to finish it, that's one less thing or 2 less minutes that I need to spend doing that. Later on in the day, I might have another couple of minutes and I'll go and I'll empty out the middle rack. So instead of waiting for these 15 minutes to get it all done together, I'm using these little bits of time instead of just sitting there or standing there on my phone doing nothing, just scrolling through Instagram. Those little minutes here and there really add up. So whether it's emptying one of the racks in the dishwasher or just tidying up one surface, instead of being like, oh, I need 30 minutes to tidy up the living room, if all I can tidy up is the dining table, then that's all I'll do. And it actually makes a significant difference because I find that my house is way tidier that way. I'm not having to like wait for me to have a whole afternoon to be able to clean the house, and by then everything is super messy. It's just things are just getting tidied here and there, and it doesn't really feel like I'm investing so much time into cleaning and tidying because it's just a couple minutes here and there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't dread it as much as when I think like, oh, I can't go to the beach or I can't do this Saturday afternoon because I need to clean my house. Because throughout the week, as I've been cooking dinner or doing this and that, I will go and just tidy up a little bit here, do a little bit there. And for me, that's been life-changing. Maybe some of you out there already do that. If you do, congratulations. That's not something I used to do. And that's not even just for tidying and cleaning up the house. It could be if there's something for work I needed to do or something for the blog. I would always feel like, oh no, I need a whole day to work on that. When that's not true. If you have 5-10 minutes, just sit down and focus on one small task of that whole thing you're working on, instead of waiting for when you have time to do everything at once. I find that I'm getting things done more quickly, I'm just more productive that way, and I'm wasting less time because no one wants to waste time. Time is precious. Okay, now that brings me to my next point, where if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. I found that I was just getting frustrated with myself and annoyed that all of my weekends, all of my time off was just taken up by social obligations. I wasn't having a lot of time left to do the things that I actually wanted to do. If you've been following me, you know that I am a registered perinatal nurse and I usually work 2 weekends out of the month. So that only leaves 2 weekends. It just seemed like, especially in the summer, there was always something happening. And then I just had no weekends available for myself to do what I wanted. And it was getting really frustrating. So I started to be a little bit more picky with what I said yes to, and realizing that saying no to something is not saying no to the person. It's okay to say no to something. Like sometimes I would get invited to something that maybe the person felt that they had to invite me because they were inviting my sister, but they weren't even that close of friends with me, and it didn't even really make sense for me to go, but maybe they felt that they had to. So it's like this obligation on both sides where they didn't have to invite me and I didn't have to attend. Just kindly declining these invites that I didn't actually want to go to has been life-changing because it's freed up some more time, and I'm not going to things that I'm dreading and then sitting there making small conversations with people who I don't really know, you know what I mean? I definitely plan on keeping up that habit for 2024. Another one of the habits that I've only recently realized that it's been so essential and life-changing for me that I'm definitely being very mindful to keep it in my 2024 and forever on is giving myself time to think. In today's world, we are always on our phones and we are always being entertained by something. So I started to realize that some days I would go the entire day without having time to be bored or just think. I would wake up, pop on my headphones, and start listening to a podcast as I ate my breakfast, as I got ready for work. And then I would listen to a podcast or music on my way to work. And then at work, I'm busy talking to people and working, so I'm not really having time to just be bored and think. And then I come home and I'm cooking dinner and listening to music or talking to my husband. And then by the time I go to bed, that's when I finally had time for my brain to just think and process all the things that I never got a chance to do during the day. And then I was realizing I was actually having a hard time falling asleep because things that I had forgotten to do during the day, or ideas would pop up, or just realizing like thoughts and feelings about things that maybe were stressing me out or making me anxious that I never had time to process during the day because I was constantly busy and being bombarded by all different stimuluses throughout the day. Stimuli, I think it's stimuli. One thing that I started to do is, for example, if I woke up and I already started to listen to a podcast and to music, then when I go walk the dogs, I will not bring my headphones, I will not listen to anything, I will not touch my phone. I would just walk and be bored and listen to the birds and just let whatever wants to come into my mind. And I found that is such a simple thing, but it's been so transformative because it's the time that I'll come to these realizations. They're like, oh yeah, like this is actually a good solution to this problem I've been having, or oh, here's an idea, or oh yeah, that's been bothering me, like I should do something about that, or oh yeah, these are things that I want to get done tomorrow. When I get back from my walk, I'm gonna write them down on my to-do list. And when I get to bed and it's time to sleep, I'm just sleeping. I'm not like thinking and trying to go over all these things that I didn't have time to go through during the day. So that has been so good for my mental health and my sleep. So I highly recommend that one. The fourth thing that I am bringing with me to 2024, something that I've been working on over the years, and it's just something that I've been getting better and stronger at, and it's finding the essentials and decluttering and just getting rid of the things that are not essential. So one book that I'm actually listening to for the second time, it's called Essentialism by Greg McKeown. I'm listening to it on audiobooks. Highly recommend. He just talks about finding what's essential, what you really care about, what's worth investing your time in, and everything else is not essential. So to really only dedicate time to the things that matter to you. So I've been trying to do that in all areas of my life. This actually ties back to the one of saying no to things you don't want to attend, because it doesn't mean you're saying no to the person. You don't have to be rude about it. You can even send a gift if you like, just to be kind, but you don't have to put your time into attending something you don't actually want to. And in other areas is decluttering. So every year, at the end of the year, sorry about that. Every year, at the end of the year, one of my friends told me that her and her husband, they go through their entire house in December and they get rid of things they didn't use that year. And I was like, I love that. Just, doing it at the end of the year just helps you, I don't know, just mentally close off that year and get rid of things that you didn't really use and just start fresh. I tend to, every few months, try to go through things. In the spring, there's always that big clean. Also in January, for me, it's always been a month that I like to declutter. Just go through things that I didn't use that previous year, and donate whatever I can, and just create space, because it's crazy how much we accumulate throughout the year with gifts and just random things that somehow just make their way into our houses. And then we have more things to clean. It's harder to keep places tidy because your drawers just start getting so filled and you don't even see what you actually have. It's never a good thing. So doing that constantly, and not only waiting for those months where you declutter, but every time you bring something to your house, think, do I love this? Is this gonna serve some purpose to me? Is it worth keeping it in my house? Is it worth using up space and time because you're gonna be cleaning and having to tidy that thing up? And if the answer is not really, I'm not sure, then it's no. If you're absolutely sure you love it, then okay, bring it in, make space for it. But if you're not sure, or if you know, probably not, then just don't even bother bringing it in, and that will save you so much time in having to declutter and clean whenever you do actually set time aside for that. So it ties back to that initial point of wasting less time. So before I used to be like, I need a whole day to declutter the whole house. And once I got started, it actually took so long of just going through things and trying on all my clothes and seeing what I wanted, what I didn't, and then having to donate things. So instead of waiting to have a day or two to go through the whole house, I'll just pick one drawer and then just do that drawer. And then when I have more time, I'll go and I'll do another drawer. And that way I'm able to actually get through these things and declutter the house, and it makes me feel so much better. My last point is listening to your body, trusting yourself and your intuition. What I've come to realize over the years, and especially as a nurse working in a hospital and in the healthcare system, doctors aren't usually trained to deal with the underlying cause. They are usually trained to just deal with the symptoms. So they're constantly prescribing medication to deal with the symptoms. They don't have time or the resources or the way the systems are set up. It's not set up to look at the whole picture. It's very focused on an individual symptom and they'll deal with that. That actually reminds me, one of the doctors I was seeing in their office, there was actually a sign saying, only bring up one issue at a time. Only one. Book an appointment for any other issues you have. And that is the most ridiculous and bizarre thing that makes no sense, because how can you possibly only look at one part of the person and only treat that when there are so many things that can be connected? We are a whole system. We are not just one part. So you can't just treat one part and just not look at the rest of the body or the rest of the symptoms and see how they can be connected. And by looking at the whole system, you could actually see, oh, this might be causing this. Let's treat the underlying cause instead of, oh, you're having acid reflux. Here's some medication to treat that symptom, instead of looking what could be causing it. So, you know, there are some great doctors out there who do try to figure out what's actually causing it and try to treat that. But for the most part, from my personal experience and from what a lot of the people I've spoken to, doctors usually just try to treat the symptoms. That's what they're trained in doing. I've decided to take more responsibility for my own health and well-being. I've actually suffered something from just trusting a doctor to tell me, it was actually a physician's assistant, trusting them to just tell me I could just stop this medication cold turkey and it would be fine. And it actually wasn't fine because of a previous injury I had, which caused other issues that I now have chronically for the rest of my life. You can't just blindly trust doctors, although they are there and they care about you and they're trying to take care of you. Like I said, the system is not set up properly. They don't have the resources or the education to really look at the whole picture, spend a lot of time with you, look at all your history. One of the things that I also started doing is every time I get a blood test done, I will get my results and then I will go back and look at the trend, because the doctors will only tell me if something within my blood work is out of the normal range, if it's either too low or too high, because then it flags it for them. They don't have time to go through like the past year and look, oh, this has been slowly trending upwards. You know, let's do something about it now before it gets too high or it gets too low. They don't do that. So I do that. I look through my blood work and then I look at the numbers and I look for trends so that I can do something about it before it becomes abnormal. That just made me want to take more responsibility because it's my body, it's my health, and it's very important for me to feel good about myself and to feel that I'm doing everything I can. This is my only body and I need to take care of it the best I can. So I do my research, I take my vitamins, I try to make sure I'm always hydrated, drinking lots of water, filtered water when possible. I check which vitamins I'm low on, which vitamins go well together, and supplement properly. I try to eat organic as much as possible. I started doing breath work, meditation. All of those things have been life-changing as well. And then just moving your body every day as well. I just do light exercises, lots of yoga, use light weights, just anything to keep up that muscle mass is so important, especially for women, and getting fresh air every day. It doesn't matter what the temperature is, even if it's for just 5 minutes, get some fresh air. The sun is finally out today and it's life-changing for me because we haven't had sun in the longest time. It's been like weeks. It's been very mild in Toronto this year. We still haven't really gotten any snow and it's already past New Year's. Because it hasn't been cold enough, we haven't been getting any sun. So today it's -4, -6. So we finally got sun. So although it's colder, it's at least sunny and that is very good for us. So get some sun when you can, get outside, move your body, stay hydrated, cut out the sugary drinks, you know, try to eat your calories instead of just drinking your calories. But also listen to your body. Do what works for you. We're all so different and you can't just listen to what works for other people. You really have to be in tune and touch with your body to know what works for you. Something might work great for me, but you might not tolerate it well. So just listen to yourself, work with your body and figure out what makes you feel the best. And journal, write down trends and things you feel that you realize are happening often, whether it's food sensitivities or... Sorry, I am back. My camera overheated and then it just shut off and I was hungry, so I went and I had lunch, but now I'm back. Okay, so back to wherever I left off. It was my last point and I was talking about just recapping everything, just trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, listening to your body, and do your research. There's literally research backing up any and every diet out there. Okay, so if you look, you will find research backing up saying that this is the best one. But all of our bodies are different. So find what works for you. Listen to everyone, listen to podcasts, read, but take everything with a grain of salt because just because it works the best for someone, it might not work the best for you. So see what works for you, but trust yourself because you know yourself the best. Okay, so that's my last point. Take whatever you can from everything I said and whatever works for you. If any of these you think will make a difference in your life and in your 2024, I hope you will incorporate some of them into your life. Comment down below if you have any habits that you are bringing with you into 2024 and if you'd like to share them with the rest of us. Thank you so much for being here, for tuning in and for watching till the end, and I will see you next time. Take care.